My sunny times in Jamaica are over. Back to reality, back to Spurs reality. So, talking points number 118, I believe it is. I'm Sam Spurs for life. Welcome, and we get into this now. Hopefully, I've got some guests. They're not here yet, but we'll go. Now, to find the intro, which is this one.
It's just different.
Hello, welcome to Talking Points. I'm Sam Spurs for life. This is Paxton Road TV, PRTv Spurs, and this is episode number 180. 180. Oh, dear me. I was going to put the title up there, but I didn't have the right one. So I'm going to find that in the background. We have special guests arriving very soon. I'm just doing the actual old, editing as we go along. But welcome anyway. Make sure you smash a like on the stream, comment, put in there, share this around, and then we can get into it. So, 118, Tottenham Hotspur, 24 games played. And Darius 3K is back off his holidays to join me to chat about Spurs.
Is the tan looking good?
Tan's looking good, man. Tan's looking good.
Good.
Definitely. How was your time away? Did you watch the Spurs games? And yeah, we've got a lot to see about our now we've got our squad back. Hopefully, we can discuss the best 11.
I mean, I was having so much fun. I genuinely can't even remember the game before the Brighton game. It was only a few days before it as well. Who did we play before Brighton? Is it?
Everton.
Brentford. Everton, not Brentford. Everton. Yeah, no, I had a great time.
Brentford as well. Sorry, Brentford was in there. I can't remember the order. Let me go on, and you just carry on.
There was a few games that we got to watch in quite a small amount of time. So while I was enjoying my enjoyable holiday, my lovely holiday in the Caribbean, I did get to watch bits and bobs of Tottenham Hotspur with a nice Piton beer in my hand, a nice shandy at times. And I have to say, wasn't too impressed by performances, but results did okay. We did all right with the results. And, looking forward now, as obviously the title says, I think we are as close to full strength in terms of squad as I've seen since the start of the season. So now it's really about, as the title says, what is our best 11 going forward?
Yeah, the best 11. So we played, and I'll just give you the games that we played since the FA Cup game against Burnley, where we won 1-0 the third round, the 5th of January. Then we played 14th. We played Manchester United. We drew 2-2 with them away. Then we had the game again, FA Cup game, which we lost to Man United. Manchester City 1-0 on the 26th of Jan. Then it was Brentford. We won 3-2 at home. Then we go into the next lot of results, which were, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Everton 2-2, 3rd of Feb, and then 2-1 victory against Brighton Hove Albion. So yeah, we've had some decent results. I would say the performances haven't been as great, and it's now time to see whether or not we can push on. And to help us do that, as we have the man himself, here we go. Mr. Sid Spurs, welcome. Fully refreshed. Looks like he's had a nice, relaxing time before you go to work. Is that right?
Absolutely. Hey, we got Benoit Asuakoto at the bottom. When did he join us?
The hair's out. It's been out all holiday, my friend. It's nice to see you, though. It's nice to see you.
Yes, nice to see you, boys. Look at these lot coming back from the sun.
We've been living it up. We have been living it up. I'm not gonna dispute that at all, my friend.
Exactly, yes. Listen, what I'm going to say before we go into it is I'm very, very disappointed because I put this up yesterday on social media. I put it on everywhere, and all these so-called Spurs fans have got a lot to say, talking about this player, that player, whatever. Gave them the opportunity to put their best 11, man, and nobody got back to us on any other social medias or whatever with their best 11. Very disappointed. I thought there was a lot of Spurs fans out there. Well, there is millions of them, but nobody could be bothered to pick their best 11.
They couldn't decide. Sid, they couldn't decide. That's what it was. Yeah, it's not that they couldn't be bothered. It's because they had so much options they couldn't even decide.
Well, we're going to get into that. Like I said, I haven't got all the graphics and all the rest of it, but I'm pretty sure we can do some
old school conversation.
Like I said, we can do the conversation. Right then, let's just talk about the games that have just recently had. I know we've had a apologies for the cough. Last result 2-1 against Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, got to do a bit of a review on it. I joined and I couldn't finish because I had got kicked out of where I was. But I did attend, and Sid knows that I did attend. Yeah, with the Brighton game, my thoughts on that, final thoughts, having now had a few more days, it was all about the result for me. It was all about the result in the end. Yes, we would have loved to have played better, and crazy when we was not doing what we should do, and Brighton were, you know, Danny, Ronaldo, Welbeck was kind of like, you know, busting up teams. I was like, what's going on here? Pascal Gross, these man, Matoma, he was fucking fantastic on the day. But we got across the line. Son came on, and I said in the group chat, you know, it looks like it's made for Son to come on and get the winner or somehow put us into position, which he did. And we got the 3 points. And that keeps us in that race, I would say, for realistically top 3, top 4. If people are saying that Man United can still catch us and they're 6 points behind us, why can't we catch Arsenal when they're 5 points in front of us? So it don't make sense. People say, no, you're not in a title race, but then Man United can catch you, which is what all the bloody Man U fans were saying.
And Gary Neville.
And
Gary Neville says it, then we have to believe it, because whatever comes out of his mouth is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yeah, so Sid, tell me, as you feel in a few more days post that Brighton game, then, like I said, Darius, if you did see it or you got some thoughts or feedback on it, then I'll get some info from you. But Sid, you did, because you was there.
Yeah, I said it all, didn't I, in the reaction show? I think we got away with it. We've been getting away with it all season in a lot of the games where we're not taking. I'll give you the prime example. Arsenal at West Ham absolutely took them to the sword, and they didn't finish. They went 1, they got 2, they got 3, wanted 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? Whereas we get a 1, 2, and then we let teams get into it. We let them take the lead, and we're playing catch up, and we just can't put teams to bed. Maddison summed it up by saying, I just want to win a comfortable game 3-0. So we was good in patches. I think Brighton, again, outschooled us, the way they play and the way they sorted everything out. I think they were unlucky not to get a point, because I think they deserved a point in the end. But we're work in progress, and as it means at this precise moment, I think we're going points over performance. Although Postecoglou probably wants performance as well, but I'll take a last-minute winner. I know we can't. I was talking to somebody yesterday, an Arsenal fan, and he was like, "You can't continue doing that." And I went, "Yeah, you know what? You're right." But at the end of the day, we got the points. We need to play a lot better. I'm sorry, we need to play a lot better, and hopefully starting from Saturday against Wolves. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hopefully going to get down there on the Saturday. There's a couple of things coming up, but yeah, I'll talk to Darius, because he might be able to go. Anyway, like I said, it's not definite. I'm not going, but I've got my ticket to go. Darius, did you see the game?
I saw bits of it.
Okay.
I lost interest as one, I was in the scorching hot sun, but two, we were getting absolutely bopped. And despite us having, I think maybe you could say, the better chances, I wasn't confident in us getting a result at all. So I don't give a toss. Like I said, we will dissect the performance, and I get you guys did dissect the performance, but for me, that doesn't matter. Points on the board against a good Brighton team, despite them having injuries, I don't give a toss. How we won 90th minute is even sweeter for me. I love a 90th minute. I know it's stressful, but I love a 90th minute. You can release all your tension. Feels great when you get the goal. And especially because it was Brennan Johnson as well. Son to Johnson, I was just happy. Maddison in the build-up. It was... because we won the game, I don't care about all the other things I was going to say about the game. Had we drawn the game or lost the game, I think that would have all come to light. I will say this, though, and I don't want to say this like to be a pessimist or to say that I'm losing faith, but I am beginning to get a little bit concerned with the defensive tactics. Eventually, it's going to catch up on us. And whether we need to tweak it or we need to improve attacking wise so we don't need to worry about conceding goals, I don't know which way it is going to be. It seems like it'll be the latter, because that's how Postecoglou has said he wants to set up. He said he'll rather score 4 goals than the opponent score 3, whatever. But I am getting a little bit concerned about the amount of goals we're conceding. for the quality of defenders that we have, I can't blame them for the goals we've conceded. I think that the reason why we're conceding a lot is a system reason. And no one will complain until, you know, points start being dropped. So there's no room for complaint at the moment. I'm not gonna, you know, whine and complain when we've, you know, got 6 or 7 points from the last 9 games. However, I'm seeing things that are concerning me, and I do think will catch up on us towards the end of the season. The naivety has to stop at some point. We can't just be an attacking team. I think we really do need to learn how to shut out games and play a different way. Because in the big competitions, if we are thinking about getting into these big competitions, we're going to have to play certain ways to get results. And yeah, again, it's not worth talking about in massive detail now, but that's just how I'm feeling. I have got a very, very, very slight innate bit of concern for the way we're playing, because I don't think we've played well in most of the games that we've played in the last, month or so. Even when we've got the players back and we've all been saying, oh, when we get our defenders back and when Van der Ven's fit and Romero's fit and the back four's all fit now, back five's all fit now, midfielder back, and the performances haven't really improved. So again, not going to complain for the sake of complaining, but I'm just going to leave that sort of as a little bit of to let people think about it. And I'd love to see what, you know, the Paxton people think and what you guys think. But defensively, I am getting a little bit concerned of how we play. And like I said, if we're going to go with the attacking side, improving the attacking side to the point where it doesn't matter about our defensive side, or if we're going to improve the defensive side, I don't know what's going to happen. But I do think there's a slight room for concern, especially after that Brighton game. The Everton game as well. I mean, Everton, don't know how we got a point at Everton. That was honestly a robbery, in my opinion. So, yeah, and then obviously with the Brentford game, we got a bit of a flurry of goals and ended up, you know, holding out for the end. But I do think we deserve to win that game. So, yeah, there's positives, there's negatives, but we are, like you said, Sam, we're keeping pace. And if Man U are close enough to catch up with us, we're close enough to catch up with, you know, the Arsenals and the Cities. And I'm not saying we will, but logic would suggest that we can. So overall positive. I think the last month has been okay, but there definitely is a few concerns that I think will start to irritate more people if we drop points. So long may the points on the board continue. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think. Sam, it'd be interesting to be interesting, but I do think there are some slight concerns that we have to potentially think about going forward with Spurs.
Yeah, well, whilst you was talking that, and there's a lot of points in there that we probably discussed in the review show. I know that me and Sid have had our thoughts about certain players. This was the starting 11 in the Brighton game. Vicario in goal, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie. Now, I think we can all safely say that we think that's our best back five. Sid, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's our best five. There's no doubt about that. But we don't know yet with Dragusin, and obviously he was playing really, really well at is it Genoa before we got him. We got to see him in action, because until he comes in, we can't really say this is our back five. I think the left back, right back, goalkeeper sorted. I think Van der Ven and Romero is an issue. Well, it's not an issue. It's great at the moment, but Dragusin's not been tried and tested yet. There's a lot of, you know, things said about him, how good he is. We need to see him play before we can decide. But at this precise moment, this is the best back five. But I'm still questioning this Dragusin, whether he needs to come in at some point.
Well, let's talk
about Dragusin. If we threw, sorry, Sam, but do you think if we threw Dragusin in and he was to have not to say he would struggle, but if we were to lose games and he was in that lineup, do you think that people would look to him as almost a scapegoat because that's what we've changed? Or how do you think the Dragusin treatment has been? Do you think it's good that he's been on the bench, or do you think he should have been thrown into a game or two, maybe?
Can I just not answer it, but like at least add this to it? Who would he, on top of what you've just said, who would you think would be the person that he would replace out of Romero and Van der Ven if Dragusin is going to play? And not to say that he has to be one or the other, if it's just a rotational thing, but if you had to say, right, I'm going to make a decision now, I'm going to drop Romero or Van der Ven, which one are you dropping?
Do you know what? I would probably Romero, right?
And this is where the debate comes.
I thought, you know what? I didn't think you were going to say it, Sid, but I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking. So continue cooking, my friend. Continue cooking.
Yeah, I want to hear it because there's lots to talk about in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is a conversation we can have on another talking points, but I'm yes, Romero's a good player. Yes, this, that, the other, but I'm still a little bit kind of thing. So for me, the reason I'm keeping Van de Ven in is because of his pace, and he's, you know, bailed us out so many times. He's very good on the ball, and Romero sometimes is kind of, you don't know, he loses his head, this, that, the other. So for me, I'll keep it sweet. If it's got to be one or the other, it can be Romero for Dragusin. However, and I'm going to throw a spanner in the work, I can't see why all three can't play as well together.
Good point. So my thoughts are, I don't think he's going to drop Romero anytime soon. One of the reasons being he's part of that leadership team now. No, I'm not saying that's it. No player who's in that leadership team can ever be dropped, but there's reasons why they're part of that team. There's reasons why he's kind of said, you're the vice captain or whoever it is. Son first, Maddison second, then Romero.
I think he's second. I don't know. Is it? I don't think it really matters, to be honest. But
no, it doesn't really matter. But the point of the matter is they're looked at as being leaders. Now Romero's, what is he? 26, 27? 26. So of the older of the bunch, but certainly not an old player. You know, but not an old player. So if I'm looking from an experience perspective, Dragusin's how old? 21, 22?
Dragusin's 21, Van de Ven's 22.
Yeah.
You start,
and Dragusin just turned 21 as well.
Yeah, you start throwing two players in there who have, not to say that they're not talented, because I know they are, but little Premier League experience. We've even seen with Vicario in recent weeks how, even though he's been fantastically well, they're beginning to target in certain areas of him. Right, let's put players on him, put players around, and that's cost us a couple of goals. We kind of addressed that, but it's still one of those concerns if, you know, he's being attacked in that way. And the same thing can be said of players. I've seen Van de Ven get caught out a couple of times, you know, not necessarily because he's been playing badly, but just because of the way we play, being very high up. Teams like Brighton knew how to play against us in that sense. And that's why I'm a little bit, you start throwing 21, 22-year-olds in with little experience in that overall Tottenham life, then it's going to be difficult at times. And we have to either decide, are we going to accept that? Or is it a case of just get your experience on there? I'm thinking that Van de Ven and Dragusin are probably going to be rotated in and out, and Romero will play most of those games unless he gets suspended. But it will be interesting to see what Dragusin and Van de Ven play like. What's your thoughts on that?
However, I do think you saying that, I agree with everything you say. However, I do think, and I'm not going off any basis other than what I've seen Dragusin do at Genoa in terms of like what I've watched. I've not watched the full Genoa game. I think Dragusin could play off the left, and I think he could play off the right. I think he's good enough to probably do both. If you're looking at like player profile wise, Dragusin matches much more similarly to Romero, I think. However, it's like you said, you are going to sacrifice that experience, sacrifice the leadership. I do think Romero is important to that team. I think Dragusin is just a little bit unlucky, to be honest with you, that players came back fit as he came into the team. I think if Romero was out, he would have been chucked in the deep end straight away. And I think he would have swam. But I also think this is probably a good thing for him to actually slowly integrate into that team, because it's a tough role to play. It's unforgiving an Ange system for a centre-back, for all the defence, really, because you are tasked with a lot. Build up, recovery. There's a lot you have to do as a centre-back in that system. So, again, to chuck a 21-year-old in, like you said, Sam, to play alongside a 22-year-old who's in his first season as well, despite him having a great season, I think there would be a lot of people sort of looking quickly to scapegoat Dragusin and say, oh, this is why we've got two young players, this and that. So I think what he's doing is smart. I think it's also just, you're not going to drop Romero or Van de Ven for Dragusin, are you? So, I mean, I'm not fussed about him not getting many minutes. I think he's come on and his cameos have been all right as well, to be fair. I can't lie to you. It's not like he's made howlers or anything. I think his cameos when he's come on in the last 10 and 5 have been good. So his time will come. I thought he was going to play in that Man United game. In the Man City game. Something told me he was going to play in that Man City game, but now I think about it, probably wouldn't have been the smartest thing to do. So, yeah, no, I think we're all good. I think there's nothing to really worry about. We needed depth in centre-back. one of those two players could get injured at any time and he'll be starting the foreseeable games. So can't complain about depth now that we've got it. Do you know what I mean? It's someone has to not start unless, like you said, Sid, we change to a 3 at the back, which I don't think will happen personally. But again, the option is there now. You have 3 quality centre-backs to do it. So
you know what?
Not too concerning.
He's done it.
And
he's done it before. He has done it before as well. You are right.
He's done it a few times when he's brought in the last 5-10 minutes and he's gone to the back. So
I was going to say that I don't think we're going to probably start with a back 3 anytime soon. But I do believe that there is an option to change to a back 3 and still maintain quite an attacking 4. Because of 100%. The fact that, you know, if Van de Ven plays on the left of a 3, and let's say, I don't know, Dragusin plays on the right.
I'd probably put Dragusin on that right side, yeah.
Yeah, I'd put Romero central and have, you know, the other 2 the other side because of their recovery in terms of they can get forward. And we can see that Ben Davies, when he was playing that, was doing that quite well for us as a back 3 person. I could say Van de Ven could do exactly the same. And his recovery would be brilliant. Dragusin, I can probably think the same thing. So you could still have the attacking intent, but you have to then drop somebody. It's either going to be a forward or a midfielder to be able to get those players in there. So just going back to the starting lineup, and then I'm going to look at the...
Can I just add something?
Yeah, sorry, go on, Sid. I
was just going to say, right, in terms of Romero, yeah, if you read between the lines what he said, right, a couple of weeks ago, that he was on the verge of asking to leave under Conte if Conte had stayed as manager, last season. So, he was actually looking or thinking about, you know what, if this team or the manager doesn't change, I'm going to leave. Now Postecoglou's come in. He's now done the opposite, where he's loving life, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
So, yeah, so he's gone from I'm going to leave, almost leave, to now I'm going to stay. The thing is, and Juice Nuts, he's put it in the comments as well, in the summer, right, it could be a possibility if Barcelona's, they haven't got any money, or somebody else comes in knocking and say, listen, we want Romero, here's 70-odd million. We're apparently...
100 min for me.
Yeah, or whatever. We're looking at Braithwaite as well now, aren't we? And we're looking at some other centre-back. So, could it be a possibility?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just being hypothetical here. I mean, Braithwaite...
Throwing it out there.
Yeah, I'm throwing it out. Because Braithwaite out there...
No. I think we're going to add as opposed to get rid of more so. Yeah. I don't think we're going to get rid of one to get one in. We need more centre-backs, you know, quality centre-backs. If we're going to play the way that we play, based on what we've seen, injury, suspensions, all the rest of it, giving players a rest, if we've got Europe as well next season, which we're probably more likely to have than not, you can't have just 2 or 3 centre-backs. And at the moment, we've got 3 centre-backs. That's not enough. You need 4, in my opinion. And that will mean that they will all get relative game time. Not to say they'll all get equal game time, but relative game time. Dragusin will definitely play next season more so than not. And I think that's what, you know, Postecoglou's probably said. And that's why these players are, not to say happy, because nobody should be happy on the bench, but okay, I'm waiting for my opportunity. And his opportunity could come at any point. We've seen that Chelsea game, someone, domino effect. One player get injured, 100%. Somebody gets sent off, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. We was like, bloody hell, Ben Davies. And now we've got Royal in centre-back. Exactly. That we can't afford to do next season. Because we will never win any Champions League games with that centre-back away from home, in my opinion, particularly. So the team here has to have backup. So we're going to have Romero. We're going to have Van de Ven. We're then going to have Dragusin and another. Whether that another.
You think we need to bring in another centre-back then?
100%.
Because Jared Branthwaite's not going to be a cheap option. Obviously, maybe if things happen with Everton, I don't think they'll get relegated. I think Everton will stay up. But Jared Branthwaite, and this is why I'm like sort of not saying that Sid is right. Obviously, I don't even think Sid yourself think that Romero is going to be sold. But when you throw something out there and you think about it, I can see, you know, possibilities happening. Because if I'm like 4 centre-backs is a lot. Don't get me wrong. You need those 4 centre-backs. But if I'm Jared Branthwaite, unless I'm being guaranteed game time, and I know that we'll probably have another game to play next week, whether that's Europa League, Champions League, whatever, I need confirmation. I need guarantees that I'm going to get to play because he's starting for Everton right now. So I can see where Sid's coming from, but then I wouldn't expect somebody like Jared Branthwaite to come in as a fourth option centre back.
Right. Let me just add to this.
Because Phillips is on loan, don't forget. Phillips is at Plymouth right now.
I agree. But I think the thing I wanted to also add is I think the players that are brought in have to have a little bit of versatility. Now, we've already seen that, already been told that Van der Ven can play left side as in a left fullback.
He's
played that role.
He has done.
And I think Dragerson, I've seen from what I've seen, he's also played right side and also right fullback. Now, whether that's been consistent, I don't know. But both those players, let me say, if we had a problem with Udogie or we had a problem with Porro, I'd rather see one of them two go in as opposed to Royal or Ben Davies. Not to say that those players can't do it, but Ben Davies is 33 now, nearly 34, and Royal doesn't have the quality. So you will get them players to play, and you may even get a back four of Dragonson, potentially. I'm not saying this will happen. Dragonson, Romero, Van der Ven, and let's say another, because of the fact that, you know, you want to play your strongest players. But because of the way that we play, to have centre-backs who can play left or right in that area, remember, our fullbacks play centrally more often than not. They only go out into those wide areas when they have to recover. So if you're comfortable on the ball, which both those two are, Dragonson and Van der Ven, I will play in there. You've got to obviously work on it, but it wouldn't be too much of a problem for me. So that's what I'm saying. Having players that have a little bit of versatility, but you're not overloading, because we are going to need to have... Imagine, we get an injury to Van der Ven now. Dragonson's definitely playing. But what happens if 100%. We had a suspension to Romero? We're then playing Ben Davies or Royal.
That is true. That is true. But also, just to sort of not counter that, because I agree with what you're saying, definitely. We don't know what could happen. You could lose we lost two centre-backs like that. So I agree with everything you're saying. What I am also going to say, though, is who's the backup for Porro and who's the backup for Udogie if they go down?
Well, this is what we're going to discuss.
That's why I feel like...
And the other thing as well, Darius, what you said about is a starter at Everton, would you want to come? Listen, at the end of the day now, players are going to clubs, and I'm talking cities, I'm talking Liverpool's, even Barca's, Madrid's, whatever. Players are going to them clubs now who are regular starters at other clubs. But if you're going to a so-called bigger team and a bigger squad, then you've got to make that sacrifice. You can't just go to that club expecting to start straight away. If you want that move, if you want career progression, then if you have to go and sit on the bench for a while and take your opportunity when it comes, so be it. You're gonna have to do it.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that. Definitely hear that.
I'm gonna let's just do the goalkeeper debate first. I don't think there's much of a debate on it. You can have your quick thoughts, and then I'll just go and quickly do something downstairs. But here we go. I'll put this up. What am I doing? Where am I doing? Share screen. I thought I've got the wrong one here. That's better.
There we go.
Forster, Austin, Whiteman, Vicario. Obviously, as you can see from the appearances, if you can see that, he's made 24 appearances. These others haven't made any in the Premier League.
Squad.
Who are we having as our number two for next season of them three? Forster, Brandon, or Alfie?
Neither. None.
I was gonna shake virtual handshakes in.
Let me just go downstairs. I'll be back in a minute. You lot tell the audience what you think.
We can agree on this one, Sid. You go first, my friend. You go first.
Listen. Look. Whiteman's injured, right? Says it all. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's had so much bad luck, right?
Yeah.
Even when he was fit, he wasn't getting a running. Now, if you're looking at that stats, this tells me. Does it tell you every other club, and I'm talking Arsenal, I'm talking Man United, I'm talking Liverpool, I'm talking Man City's, they're using a different keeper in the cups, especially in the Carling and the FA Cup. We haven't. We've used Vicario for everything and everything. That to me says the manager, I don't know if he doesn't have faith, but he doesn't want anybody else in that goal. Because does he have faith in these lot? Does he trust any of these lot? I don't know. I think he doesn't. That's why he's playing Vicario week in, week out. Whiteman's been at the club for years. I think it's time for him to move on. Austin's been there for years. He's not getting game time. I'm still surprised. Then him and Whiteman are still at the club. I don't know why they haven't moved elsewhere. Championship League one side to get experience and probably potentially number ones there. Forster now, Optimus Prime, he's done. Yeah, he's done. I think he's not getting a look in now as well. So me, We go and get a number 2 in the summer. Simple.
Now, I'm going to ask a question because I think Sid is spitting. I think you're talking facts. The only problem is, I think Arteta was brave to do what he did.
Yes.
But I can 100% see why he did it. And why can't goalies get injured? Like, we all act like goalies are these absolute invincible players who can't, run and pull the hamstring in training or get a really bad clatter in a game, head injury. Goalies can get injured. And I know the chances of it are lower, but I don't really trust any of these 3 keepers if Vicario is to be out for an extended period of time. Now, the hard thing about that is finding it's so niche a second keeper market, because you've got to find a keeper who's willing to sit out and know he's not going to be first choice, but also be of the quality. Whereas if he comes in and he's needed, the drop-off isn't going to be that bad. I don't think you're going to I think it's almost not impossible. I think it's very difficult to find that. And then on top of that, sorry, Sal, I just finished with this one thing. On top of that, we're a team who like to use the goalkeeper in our build-up and in our play as well. So that keeper's got to have ball playing ability as well, good ball playing ability as well, because Vicario is used a lot in our build-up. So again, I'd like to see what you go ahead, Sam, and tell me what you were going to say, because that's my thing.
Yeah.
The market for what we want in a second choice keeper is way too hard to find.
Cool. So who is the goalkeeper, that really young goalkeeper is playing currently in the Premier League? Is it
Burnley?
Not Burnley. Is it Burnley?
James Trafford.
What's his name? Trafford. That's the one. So my thoughts on the keeper. If you've got a number 1, which Vicario is, he's what, 25? 27. Oh, sorry, he's 27. That's prime age for a goalkeeper. So he's got years ahead of him.
Prime age.
You're either going to have to get as a backup, Optimus prime age. You're either going to have to get as a backup a really talented young keeper who's going to be able to play but not get loads of game time because he realizes he's not at the age, or you get somebody at the other end of the scale who's
to compete,
past the experienced, but you know what I mean, who's not so happy but will be content to play bit parts. That's what Forster's doing for us now. Lloris, bless him, had fell off a cliff in terms of his ability, but if you got someone like Lloris, an ex-World Cup winner, who's happy to play for Spurs but had still got the ability to play at the highest level, not necessarily for a whole season, but for games when they get brought in. That's what I'd want. Because to have 2 keepers of equal proportions at a club, I don't think works long term. I just don't think it works.
No, you're right, 100%.
Arsenal are going to try and find out if that's going to work for them.
I don't think Ramsdale is going to be there next season. I don't think Ramsdale is going to be there next season.
But Sam,
exactly.
Think about it then, right? And I'll give you a Optimus Prime example.
Yep.
Liverpool have got potentially one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Yeah. He's number 2 that comes in and he's getting quite a lot of good game time, and I'd take him. Kelleher,
he's all right.
He's all right. Yeah, he's a good.
He's all right. He's not brilliant.
Keeper to have. That's what I'm saying. Somebody like that, I don't mind having. He's 25 years old. Yeah. When you need him, he does the job. You know what I mean? He does the job. So somebody like that, I won't have any gripes about it. Now, an experienced goalkeeper, we've got that in Fraser Forster, right?
Forster should be our 3rd choice. That's what I'm
he's getting old. What I'm saying with Forster is I think he's a little bit too old. He's what, 37?
Yes. 3rd choice. Barely. 3rd choice will barely get any minutes, and he'll bring Forster is a good addition to that dressing room because he's a very liked person in that dressing room. So I think 3rd choice is perfect for Forster. Yeah. But sorry, Sid, carry on.
Yeah, so we need to get somebody of that caliber. It doesn't have to be he's not the world's best goalkeeper. He's not the world's shittest goalkeeper, but a keeper that can come in and do a job. Yeah, and he knows unless Vicario gets seriously injured, I'm going to get game time here, there, bit of game time here, bit of game time there. I'm happy with that. Career progression in a way. Yeah, that's fine. But somebody like Trafford or somebody like that, you're not going to get that because he's probably wants guaranteed first.
I think this is what I mean. It's so difficult because Trafford he would be perfect. A Trafford, a Melier, someone like that who's like really young, who would actually contribute, maybe even be the heir to the throne, even if Vicario is to move or whatever. Yeah. But these keepers are optimistic. These keepers want to start for teams. So this is why I'm saying you ain't really gonna find a keeper who's good or good enough to start who's gonna want to sit on that bench unless you're a Man City and you can guarantee him, hey, look, you'll get a Premier League medal at the end of it, so you can sit.
Or you pay him. Or you pay him.
But that's silly to me. You're not going to pay someone to hold
exactly. So going back to the point of it, I think then in terms of our keepers, let's just go back to that page. I think he might need to be replaced, but I'd bring in someone with experience.
I think we need to buy one and kick one of the kids out. That's what I would say. I say keep Forster.
Oh, you think of one of these two?
One of the kids. Make Forster third choice and get rid of one of them two, because one of them two ain't going to make it. We've had them for years. I've seen these two names in pre-season for years, and they've done nothing.
Darius,
so when are they going to be good?
I'd get rid of both. Both of them.
You get rid of both?
Yeah,
I'm just being sentimental.
Hold on. Time out. So you two would get rid of both of these two and keep him and bring somebody else in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what somebody
else. Who would that somebody else be in terms?
That's what the scouting network has to do. They found gems. They can find a gem.
Listen,
but would you go for someone young or someone older? What
young, like you said, young. I think that's the perfect thing to do.
Yeah, fair.
Get someone who's sub 22. Would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. He's got a bit of quality. He's got first team experience. Maybe even been in a bit of a relegation scrap. But that is such a niche market, which is what I was saying earlier on. That's a hard thing to do. So I'm not going to get onto Spurs players. I'm not going to get onto the Spurs board for not being able to find that.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think you're right. You know what? You have to get a keeper that is willing to come on board. Willing, if you're already a starter elsewhere, I'm moving to a bigger club. I've got probably a better chance, although he'll be probably thinking Spurs. No, we're not going to win anything. But you got a better chance. And if I was Postecoglou, I would then make that keeper a starter in the Carabao and FA Cup.
I like that comment from Jews. Why are we talking so much about goalkeepers?
Yeah, let's move on.
I like our viewers.
Round of applause. Jews, you are spit.
Get off. Right, we're going to try and move on quite quickly now because we've got a few players. So let's try and do this quickly. Defenders wise, this is not obviously including the players that are out on loan. I don't believe. No, it's not. So currently in our squad, whoever those other defenders are, I guess, as what's his name still on loan? Yaffert.
They're
all on loan.
So there's quite a few. What's his name as well? The Wales brother.
Rodon again. He's not a Tottenham player in my head. He ain't a Tottenham player.
So we have got players out from this list on loan, but currently this is our defenders: Royal, Romero, Davis, Dorrington, Porro, Udogie.
Can I go first?
And Dragonson. Yeah,
go on.
Off you go.
Can I have one from the top? Romero, and can I have three from the bottom, please?
Three. I'll take all four.
I'm taking four from the bottom.
No, as potential starters.
Oh, okay.
We're looking at best 11, right?
We're looking at best 11.
Yeah, but Dragonson, I think Dragonson still he's close to that because, like I said, for me, I look at Dorrington. He's not been given an opportunity. He's not been given. So again,
you got a 5 at the back. Come here.
No, but what I'm saying is, are we just going to dismiss Dragonson already?
No. But if we're talking strictly starting 11.
Yeah,
Dragonson is not in a starting 11. If we're talking Romero, squad, can we all agree on that? We can all agree on that it's Romero. It's what we saw in the game against Brighton. That is our best back five.
Yeah,
that's our best back five. We can all agree on that. That's
the back
quick.
Five. Yeah, I mean,
now the question is, and I think this is more interesting, is who doesn't need to be there? Because I think that's a good debate to have.
Yeah,
all the ones for me, apart from Phillips, all the ones that are on loan. See you later. I would keep him. If we get an offer for him that comes in that's decent, I'll take an offer and let him go. Thanks for the memories, Ben Davies. Not because you're not a great squad player, not because you're not a part of the team for X amount of years, but you're not going to get better. These, obviously, we talked about him. Now, this guy here. Are you
keeping him? This is a good debate. Are you keeping him?
Oh, God. This is so tough.
There's rumours in there that somebody in Brazil team are after him, and I think
Saudi are after him as well.
Yeah.
What they did with Sanchez, what they did with Sanchez is exactly what I think they might do. If a good enough offer comes in that the player thinks, you know what, I might even get Champions League football out of this, or whatever it is he might get out of it, I think they'd let him go. Other than that, this guy don't want to leave Spurs. He don't want to leave.
He's happy.
He don't want to leave.
He's happy, man.
He's another.
And you know what? I would actually keep him. I would actually. But the thing is, it's different to Eric Dyer because he actually. Let's not forget, he had to fill in that centre back role, and it wasn't great, but he did a job. And I didn't think he was going to do a job. I thought he was going to do nothing. And he wants to play for Tottenham, and he's a good addition to the squad because he can play that. He can play right back. He can play centre back. People may disagree with me, but I think even Davis again. I wouldn't mind if he stayed, but I would look to move on Davis. That would be my opinion. But again, Davis was excellent. We can't lie and forget about Davis's performances when our centre backs were out. Davis was excellent in my opinion. I think he was very good in some games. Dorrington, I would loan. I don't know if you guys disagree or agree. I think Dorrington should be doing what Phillips is doing this season. And me personally, I'm not spending money on a Branthwaite. I'm just going to put Phillips as my fourth choice. And if it goes to shit, he's been killing it at Plymouth. And if he ain't going to, fourth choice is dire straits. Like we were in dire straits when we had Emerson and Ben Davis at centre back. If it comes down to fourth choice, and Phillips is our fourth choice, I'm not too mad at that. And I don't think he'll get a lot of minutes as a fourth choice. So I would keep Phillips, loan Dorrington. That's what I would do. And save the money, spend it somewhere else.
I would potentially keep Dorrington, keep Phillips, and have those 1, 2, 3 battle it out for the first team places. Because remember, we've got games that we are going to be playing next season. And I don't care what anybody says. These players cannot play every single game. Even if it's Carabao Cup, even if it's FA Cup, just to give these other players a rest. You're going to have to do that. In the Champions League, if we are playing in Champions League, that's a level. So that Saturday, the Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday thing, I think you have to have some ability to change your team. Look at City. They've got in their back lineup, well, you can name them.
Well, they just play 4 centre-backs.
They've got so many players that they choose from, but they have that versatility. Because of the way they play, they can also do different things. So again, let's just quickly do this one. Who are we keeping of the loan players? For centre back, we've already talked about,
except for Phillips and who else is on loan and Divine. But we'll get to midfield, won't we?
Yeah, but the thing is with Dorrington, I personally think he sent out Phillips on loan for the remainder of the season to get the experience, to get everything that Postecoglou wants him to have. I think he then stays in the summer and gets progressed into first team squad, like you said. Dorrington, I think, will go on loan in the summer for a season. Somebody in the Championship, I reckon. And Phillips will come in because he's had that experience. That's my understanding. I would still buy, and I think some people might agree, I would still buy another centre back. For the reason,
is that not over? So are you selling Davis then at that point? Then
no, I'm keeping Davis and Royal because to have Davis in the squad,
I think one of them's got to go, Sid.
No, I think
you have to sacrifice one.
Squad, just as a versatility player who can play left back, he can play centre back as and when needed.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point.
And Royal,
I think we could do better quality wise though, Sid.
We could do, but why do we need to spend
true
hell of a lot of money on a left back when hear me out, that left back ain't gonna stop. Destiny's gonna be the main left back. Then you've got Ben Davies can cover. If, as what we've said, and you two have said it, Dragusin can play right back, Van der Ven can play left back. If you've added another quality centre back, maybe Van der Ven can go to left back as and when needed. Man City have done it, like you said, Darius, with 4 centre-backs across the whole back. Imagine we could have Van der Ven left back. You can have a new centre-back in with Romero, or you can have Dragusin right back if Porro's injured. Why go out and spend stupid money on a left back when we don't need
versatility? The versatility is important because remember, at one point in the season, we had 4 fullbacks playing across the back line. We had 4 fullbacks.
Quite literally.
So that's where. No, it's not an ideal situation, but the players have adapted because they're willing to learn and doing it. As I said, with these 2 players, let me just get the comments off. Dragusin and Van der Ven, I think both of those can play out in those wide areas to be able to play in the midfield. Remember, we're not traditional out-and-out wide fullbacks. We are inverted, as the phrase goes, to be able to control games. Having seen how these 2 are, I think we can do that with those two. So if we had to, I'd be happy to see Romero play with, let's say, Phillips, and those two play in the outer areas, because you can change things around. You can be adaptive. They know how to play the roles. I'd have to get rid of one of these two. For me, I can't see us keeping both. Now, if I had to say keep one, that's tough. As much as I'm like, I think I'll probably keep this geezer now.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm saying Ben Davies to move on is because it sounds mad, but he's 33, 34 coming up. He's not going to get better. No. And if he gets an opportunity to go to somewhere like a Swansea or let the guy go. Let the guy go, man.
Yeah. I agree.
This guy don't want to go nowhere. He spent nearly £1 million to get himself back into this squad. He ain't going nowhere.
He'll probably build properly at Hotspur Way, knowing Emerson. He'll probably have a house in
He built his own statue. He's probably built his own statue and put it outside Hotspur Way. That's how much he thinks he's.
I love his passion as well. So yeah.
No, you can't hate a player who would die for the club, and I do genuinely believe Emerson adores the club, and like I said, that's invaluable in my opinion. I'd rather somebody who would die for the badge than an elite player who's doing us a favor.
As well, but
no, Davis played better than Emerson in the stretch that they were in centre back. However, I think, like you said, age and just a lot of other things.
He's our longest serving player currently now, Ben Davies.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
Are we hitting testimonial? Is it 10 years yet?
They don't do that anymore, Tottenham, do they?
They don't do that.
No, they don't do
it 10 years.
I think he would get one.
So we decided then, on Romero. Yep. So what's the starting then? Did we decide on the starters?
The starters is the last. The starters. It's what we know. It's what we know.
It's what we know. Yes. Okay, that's fine.
The starters are going to be there. That
is what we know.
As a back line, all we kind of debated is whether or not Dragonson can fill in there. Who would be possibly put in there if these two weren't there? Blah blah blah. But I think that's it.
This is the real debate comes now. The real debate
comes now, mate. This is the
proper debate. We don't have long, but this is the proper debate for me.
We don't. But this is about us, the players. This is the Premier League squad in terms of players that are currently at the team in terms of that. So,
I think I might have to go first in this one.
Go for it, Darren.
Højbjerg, Sessegnon, Sarr. Who's this geezer, Sessegnon? That's why he's not even got the same colour shirt on as the other people. He's not even got the same.
He's literally got last season's
23-24 shirt on because the brother don't know what this year is about. So
that's the shirt he wore when he signed, isn't it?
That is shocking.
That's the shirt he wore.
I didn't even realise he had last season's shirt on.
Every other player here has got a new shirt on. Even this geezer's got a new shirt on.
Yeah, because they can't find a picture of Sessegnon in this season's shirt.
Because he's not had the shirt on. He's not had it on. He's not had it on.
He did.
What did he have on? He played one game for us. I think he played in the old shirt, Sid. I think he didn't have a kit for him. Go on, play in the old shirt, son. Just put the old shirt. We ain't got a new one for you. You didn't take the pictures. Just put the old shirt on, son.
Yeah.
That's what they did, and that's how he played. Anyway, Skip, Højbjerg, Sessegnon, Sarr, Bentancur, Basuma, Kulusevski, Madison, and Lo Celso. Away you go. I've got to just go and do a little pit stop again. But off you go, you two.
I'll probably have to repeat when Sam comes back, but I'm going to talk to you, Sid, and talk to you and the Paxton people. I'll tell you who should start, and this is right now.
Yep.
Right now, our start should be Basuma, Sarr, Madison. No other starting three, in my opinion. No other starting three. Basuma, Sarr, Madison. Now, Bentancur, I think, is going to take at least 6 months for him to get back to his best. I'm saying we ain't going to see the best Bentancur until next season, in my opinion.
Did you read the statement they put out? Or something I read yesterday?
I think it was Ali Gold who said something about, is it about Bentancur not being his best
until next season? Yeah.
Ali Gold said something about the medical team knew that he was not going to be great.
Yeah.
And we're going to see the best of him. And again, I'm not mad at Bentancur for not coming back and flying. ACL is horrible. I've not done my ACL, but that's my worst nightmare to do my ACL. So I'm not going to get onto Bentancur for that. But we have to be realistic. He stank up the pitch at Brighton, and I don't think he's been great since he's come on. He got the goal at, was it Everton or Brentford? I can't remember which one. But might have been Man United, or I don't know which game it was. But Bentancur's not been great since he's come back, and he looks slow. For me, now I've got my starting three: Basuma, Sarr, Madison. Kulusevski's a midfielder for me, so he's now classed as a midfielder, and I think he's a backup right winger. I don't think Kulusevski starts right wing for us. I think he's a backup right winger, and I think he should be considered Now to me, Kulusevski might be a bench player to me, and that might be crazy to say, but I don't think he starts right wing, and I don't think he starts at 10, but I think he plays better in the middle. So I think he's an understudy to Maddison, who is known for having injury problems. I don't think we need to go out and get a 10. That's my opinion. Skip, see you later, goodbye. Højbjerg, see you later, goodbye. Sessegnon, see you later, goodbye. Lo Celso, see you later, goodbye. All gone, in my opinion. All gone. I don't think any of them should stay. It may be controversial to say that, but if we're going to dissect our midfield, I think we've got Alfie Devine coming back, who I think should be in that team. I don't care what people say. I think Alfie Devine needs to be in the squad. I'd rather Alfie Devine than Oliver Skip, 100%. I think Højbjerg doesn't really want to be here, so I would get rid of Højbjerg. Sessegnon, I don't even consider a Tottenham player. And Lo Celso, for what he produces, 2 goals, 2 assists, great. But for what he produces, the injury record is not worth it for me. He's already flirted with wanting to leave. I think this is his peak value we're going to get for him. We dropped like 40 mil on Lo Celso. Let's not forget that. We ain't getting that back, but I think this is a peak value we're going to get for him. I think a Barcelona will come sniffing for him. I think a team like an Atletico, a dirty, grimy team like that will come sniffing for him. I think we sell him. So now I think the most like surgery that needs doing for me is midfield in the summer. I don't know who we're going to bring in, but I'm doing mass exodus.
Let's discuss that bit after. Let's Sid dissect. That's how you've done, and let me see what who he keeps and who he gets rid of.
Sorry, before we move on, have you heard or read the latest on social media today? And I don't know how true it is, but I don't think it's true anyway. However, there's an 80 million euros bid put in by Spurs.
For who?
For who?
FDJ.
No way. Frankie de Jong. No
Francis
way.
de Jong.
Apparently.
Frankie de Jong.
No apparently so. But
if we get him, I will cry tears on stream. I will literally cry on stream if we get him.
He apparently wants to leave Barcelona, and that's the rumor that Spurs have put in an 80 million bid. But I'm like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, right.
Somebody's got to sell some newspapers somewhere. Go on,
yeah, let's dissect this then. Right. For me, I agree with currently, I agree with what you said, Darius. Basuma has to come in at number 6 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Purely because Bentancur is not the Bentancur before his injury. And like Ali Gold said, it's going to be, the medical team said, next season before he's fully up and running to 100%.
He needs a good preseason in him.
And he needs a good preseason. So at this precise moment, Basuma has to start for me, because he came on against Brighton and it sort of changed the dynamics of our team as well. So he has to start in that 6. You can't drop Sarr.
Sarr's more of undroppable than Basuma, I think.
Exactly. So Sarr for me starts, and obviously Maddison starts.
Obviously,
although Maddison didn't have a decent game against Brighton, that 3 has to be the 3 midfielders. Bentancur to come off the bench for me, yes. Kulu can come off the bench again in 2 positions, right, or in Maddison's position. And I believe, is it Marvel? Apparently they're saying, is it Marvel? Fantastic 4 now is going to become Fantastic 5, because now they've got Fiberglass Man starring in it, and Lo Celso's been offered the role. So yeah, so he's going
Fiberglass Man. You are funny.
Now he's going to be the Fiberglass Man. Yeah,
you are funny. I'm glad to be back. That's all I'll say. I'm glad to be back.
Okay, so both of you then, who are you keeping? Who are you selling? I wanted to say just quickly.
I totally agree with what Darius said. Højbjerg
goes. Skip goes. Sessegnon goes.
Sessegnon never came to Tottenham.
Sesegnon's gone in my head. He's not a Tottenham player. He's gone.
Sessegnon never came.
He ain't even. Why is he even in the midfielders part? Why is he even the Premier League doesn't even know what position he plays? No, nobody knows what the guy does.
Because they know he can't defend. They know he can't defend. They know he can't attack. So just put him in midfield, innit? That's what they do.
He can't do shit.
He's not even, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't even know he existed. Højbjerg can go because he wants to leave, so I think he'll go. Skip, I'd keep him as a squad player.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'd keep him as a squad player. And then obviously Fiberglass Man's going to star in Fantastic 5. That's about it.
Juice Nazi said, let's have some sympathy for Cess. Had a combo of reoccurring injuries and multiple managers. Lad never had a good break. Best to move him on or cut ties. Yeah.
No, let's move him on and cut ties. Not and or.
I would genuinely just pay him whatever. I'd pay him off his contract. That's how much I want him gone. Like, I really.
Now,
what are you saying, Sam?
Now, currently, I'm looking at this because, yeah, I agree.
Can we just, sorry, Sam, can we just confirm that your starting midfield three is the same as me and Sid?
Oh, right. Well, starting midfield three, currently, he's got to be starting. He's 1.
Yeah.
And he's 2.
Yeah.
Now, the point for me is if you're going to play a double pivot or you play a single pivot, I know we don't probably play either. We kind of rotate in the position, but who would be best suited to play in either? At this moment in time, it's a tough one. It's either of these two. We know that from my perspective.
I need a decision.
You're gonna push me now.
Let me just say this to you. Let me just say this to you. Colonel Abrahams, should you listen to what Sid says or listen to what Darius says? It's a tough decision.
I didn't hear what Darius said, so I'm trying to play.
I know we agreed. I said
so you both
basically
agree.
what I said is currently, right now, Bissouma has to start because Bentancur is not the same player as he was.
I was really pushing when I saw him come back that first time. He looked like he was on it. Then he got injured again, and I think that took something out of him because now I think he's playing slightly within himself because I don't think he wants that injury again.
Definitely.
And who wouldn't?
Exactly.
So I do believe.
And like I said, ACL is a horrible injury. ACL is a horrible injury.
So for me, Bissouma is probably more suited than Højbjerg would to play either as a number 6 or a number 8, in my opinion. And I think Sarr is just the player that you need to cover everything, cover all bases. He can play in the 8, the 10,
he's undroppable.
the 6.
He is undroppable.
He can play in the left back. Yeah, because he's got the energy and he's got the ability. So what I keep saying is about you have to have quality now. You can't just go into it thinking, oh, he's a great runner. He can get up and down the pitch, which is what someone like Skip can do. He can get up and down the pitch. But he ain't got
and he can ping a decent pass when he's got about 25 yards of space.
And he's not afraid to shoot from wherever. Yeah,
but not enough quality.
And then if your PlayStation 4 controller or 5 controller breaks down and you want to hit a pass and your joystick doesn't allow you to do it, then you bring in Højbjerg in for that, right?
I think he has to go in the summer if we get a decent enough
100%,
offer. I don't even think we should keep him even if we don't because I think he's going to end up being a player that
his mind is elsewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't look like he wants to be at Tottenham. That's what I'm saying. Skip, he would love to stay at Tottenham, but again, is he going to improve enough significantly? I think.
And where are you going to play him? Is he going to be an understudy to Bissouma or an understudy to Sarr? Will he play an 8 or a 6?
Sarr.
I'd be tempted.
He can't do that. He can't do what Sarr does. That's why I say get rid of him.
He done it at Norwich. That season he was at Norwich. He played
levels, championship level.
I would be tempted to put him out on loan one more time at a Prem team, not at a Championship or League One. A Prem team.
Nah, man.
Yes, just to see
sell him for 25. Man.
Nah, I still think there's something in him. And I would take him above definitely him. He's gone.
Oh, can we stop hovering over this guy? Pretend he's not there. Pretend it's Skip Højbjerg then Sarr. Just pretend he's not there.
Fiberglass man?
This is the only other one. I think he's had enough opportunities.
This is a tough one.
He's got to go.
I think he's had enough opportunities. And I think we could probably, if we are talking about getting a number 10/8, we're at the moment, we've got 2, and I think we should get another one. I think if we get an offer from him, see you later. Because I don't think he's going to play enough games.
Do you know, the worrying thing is, at the moment, is this Conor Gallagher rumours just doesn't go away at all.
Why are you mad at this? I need this to happen, you know.
No. I'm not against it. I'm not.
Okay, thank God.
What I'm saying is, it's not going away, and he's only got 1 year left of his contract, and apparently,
and Chelsea are in trouble, you know.
And Ange wants him, so I think he's going to be the replacement as that player, box to box player. I think he's the one coming in.
Facts.
I've got a funny feeling Conor Gallagher's coming to Spurs next year.
And I hope it happens because he baller. Don't care what anyone says. Fucking baller, Conor Gallagher.
We have to also think about Conor. I agree with Conor Gallagher. He's changed my opinion about him. When I saw him at Crystal Palace, I wasn't overly excited. Even when he was
good at Crystal Palace.
I didn't think so. That's just me in terms of the overall
That's
quality.
Controversial. Yeah,
because Crystal Palace is not the best team in the world, and he was probably the best of a bad bunch, if that makes sense. He won.
So you're telling me Elise and Eze are not good then?
No. Don't get me wrong, but they're still playing.
Crystal Palace they are not looking good at the moment. I mean, they could get dragged into a relegation battle.
They will because they
are. Right now they're currently sat 16th place, 3 points off Nottingham Forest, 4 points off Luton. They could be in trouble. You never know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So for me, Conor Gallagher being at Crystal Palace, it's no disrespect to him, but he wasn't playing at the highest level, so I couldn't really gauge. It's not like seeing a Jude Bellingham playing at Crystal Palace. If you saw Jude Bellingham playing, you'd think, wow, it doesn't matter what this guy does. He's fantastically brilliant. I couldn't tell that about Conor Gallagher. He just looked neat and tidy, looked all right, looked like he'd put a foot in. I've seen a bit more of him at Chelsea now, given the fact that people like Caicedo was being bought, Lavia was being bought in, and all them players who are going to put him under pressure, and he's number one. He's number one. So that tells me something about his character, his mentality, and his ability. He scored 2 goals the other night, and they dragged him. He dragged them over the line. Literally dragged them over the line. So he's a character that I think any team would want. Has he got the quality? His quality's now improved. What's his age? I don't know what his age is.
22?
Is he 22?
There's no brain then.
He might be 22 or 24. Let me search one sec. Yeah. He ain't older than 25. Yeah. I'll be very surprised if he's older than 25.
Yeah, I don't think
he is born 2000, February 6th. So that means he's just turned 24.
24, yeah.
Literally just turned 24.
Wow,
same birthday as you.
What? Are you that, Connor? So yeah, I'll go with that. So yeah, we've decided then midfield we're going to keep Sarr, Bentancur, Basuma, Kulusevski, Maddison, Lascelles, Fiberglass man can go. Skip, I'm still of the opinion, but he could go if necessary, and Højbjerg can go. Well,
so we're starting three. So we've decided to starting three is Bis, Maddison, and
Sarr, Maddison.
Yeah, cool.
We agree with that. Basuma, Maddison, Sarr. Cool, no problem.
Interesting now to see what you lot are saying for the.
Can I go first with this one?
Go for it.
Oh, of course.
Right, I'm going to be very quick.
Out, Sam.
Very quick. See you later. Don't bother. Thanks for the memories.
Wait, I can't see who you're talking about.
Oh my gosh!
Because right now you're telling Sid see you later, and that's not very.
Yeah, nice. You know what I mean. And I am in 15 minutes. I will see you later.
This guy. I'm going to start at the bottom. Bye. Thank you.
What?
You've been a great.
What? Oh, okay. Carry on. I'm going to mute my mic. Carry on. I'm going to mute my mic. Carry on.
You was in the carry on. See what happened. This guy's not going to get. He is not going to get better. He is not going to get us 10 goals in a season. He's not going to get us 10 assists in a season. He's only going to be beep beep, roadrunner up and down that pig. Beep beep. That's it. That's his job. Beep beep. And he's not even very good at that because we don't play to him. I watched a game the other day when I saw who was running with the ball. Clearly, he could have made a pass. One of the midfielders, they could have easily played him in to go behind because they thought, the likelihood is he's probably going to cut inside and sky the ball over there. I'm not doing that. So I'll just play somewhere else. And that's why I don't think Timo Werner is going to give us anything. Thiago Santiago, well, I don't know about him. It looks like that shirt's too big for him in as what I see anyway. So I don't know. I just don't know. Solomon.
Bye-bye.
Is he the new Sessegnon? See you later.
Bye-bye.
Scarlett.
Gil, the moustache thing, just for that alone, you have to go now. You have to go. So I'm going to keep Heung-min Son, Richarlison. I'm going to keep Jamie Donnelly, even though he might...
In the squad, or are you going to loan him?
Good question. I think I'm going to loan him because I think we've got to bring in another top quality player in that forward line, in my opinion.
Fair.
Because if you're going to get rid of him, and you're going to get rid of him, and you're going to get rid of him, you're going to get rid of him. You can't be down to Heung-min Son and Richarlison.
I'm keeping 3 out of that.
And Brennan.
9.
They have to go, man. Brian Gill, what's he doing? What's he doing?
Bye-bye.
He's got a moustache that's heavier than his body. His moustache is heavier than him. Come on, people. We can't keep Brian Gill anymore. We've done that. Timo Werner, as I said, he's a road runner, and that's it.
But
he may as well be Mudryk. If we had Mudryk, it'd be no different.
But
Mudryk cost 100 million. That's the difference.
I'll have my say on that in a minute.
Carry on.
I'm finished. Yeah, I'm saying Heung-min Son, Richarlison, Donnelly.
So who's your start? No. So the question is, who have you left yourself Johnson, Richarlison, Son, or are you going Kulusevski in the forward?
I think our best 3, in my opinion, is Johnson, Richarlison, Son. I think Kulusevski hasn't been that great on that right hand side this season. I think
even though he's got most of his goal contributions have come from there, but I just don't think he's quick enough.
No, it's not quick enough. And I've seen enough in him to say he could play that 10 and be a backup. And we are going to need an extra person. And we could even potentially play Kulusevski and Maddison in the same team, depending on how you want to approach a game and depending on the opposition. But Heung-min Son, Richarlison, Donnelly, bye-bye, bye-bye. Yale keep you, bye-bye. Loan.
Question. Oh, good later. One. Loan.
Okay.
Loan Scarlett. See you later, Werner. That's it. Done.
Okay.
Fair. Can I
have
it? Right. So I'll give you. Right. Let's go. Gil can go. Yeah.
Who's that?
Gil can go. Donnelly, I'd loan him to a good championship side.
Maybe even Prem.
Or even one of them. Or even if Leeds or Leicester or somebody comes up, maybe loan him to them.
Good little team like that, yeah.
Santiago, I don't know nothing about.
Who put him in an extra large top? That's what I want to know.
I think that's a small.
Yeah. Scarlett, I'd loan him. Fair. I think he's now becoming a Troy Parrott. In fact, I even sell him if an offer comes in for him.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he's to me, he's now another Parrott where, yes, he's going to come good.
Parrott's killing it at Excelsior, though. He's doing well in Holland right now at Excelsior.
Yeah, I know, there's Ajax and somebody else are after him, but I think he's going to become another Parrott where we're going to bring him back, doesn't work, send him back out. Loan. Back, yeah. So I think if a good bid comes in, sell him. Santiago, don't know much about.
Interesting.
Guys,
sorry, I'll put it up.
Gil's going, Donnelly on loan. Solomon can go. Werner, for me, contract is up at the end of the season. If we can get him for 10, 15 million.
Well, he's got a 15 million option to buy.
Yeah, if it's a 15 million, if we can negotiate it down to about 12 or even 10 million.
If we can negotiate it down to 9.99, that's the only way to buy it. 9.99. You're not paying anything in the middle of him. No.
Hear me out. If we can get him for 10 to 15, I'd get him because to have him on the bench, he could not be a starter, but he can come to impact games in the last 10, 15 minutes of his pace and that. You're not going to get anyone at that price with his pace that might do a better job. We're going to end up paying a lot of money for somebody on the left, right? Unless you're going to get somebody like Mitoma or somebody like that, then okay, that's fine. But for 10 to 15 million on a 1 or 2 year contract, I think it's worth taking a risk on.
Right. So can I say, because of the way that football is at the moment, a lot of players are getting to the end of their contracts. A lot of players are going to be available in the summer.
Player power,
if we cannot get a better player than Timo Werner, relatively cheap, there's a problem in this world because he's not good enough. He was never good enough. He's not good enough. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I just want to confirm.
He's shit.
Sam,
he's awful. He's rubbish. I said that from day dot. He's not. I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to do that about Spurs.
You didn't say that from day dot. You said you're going to.
To be fair, I will say the conversation me and Sam had. Sam was never 100% on board. I had to do a lot of, Timo, he's actually good. And I'll give him that. He wasn't on board 100%. I will say that.
I've seen enough now.
However,
I've seen enough now.
I just want to know. So you said,
I'll give him a chance.
Yeah, I hear that. So Sam said Heung-min Son left, Richarlison up front, Johnson right. Sid, what's your go-to?
I agree with Sam because I've not been convinced so far this season with Kulusevski on the right. I think there's a lot he doesn't give, and when he does get the ball, once or twice he progresses it forward, but he either wants to cut in or it comes back. He hasn't got the pace.
Okay.
That number 10 role, he's got to fight that out with Maddison, and I think I don't think he's on comparisons or different levels with him and Maddison in that number 10. So I think Maddison starts in that role because I think Maddison offers a hell of a lot more. Kulu, for me, every time he's gone on the right or whatever and he's got the opportunity to shoot, he bottles it. He did it again against Brighton. He just does not want to shoot. He's like, like Werner was, where after that Chelsea, where every time he got the ball, he got scared of shooting because whatever. I think Kulu's the same. He just does not want to shoot. And there were fans crying for him week in, week out. Shoot. He doesn't shoot. And he's had a clear opportunity to shoot. So I don't know at this precise moment. I don't think Kulu's at his best, at his peak. So I think as much as Johnson's getting a lot of critiques and criticism, I'm still going with Johnson.
Fair.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I'll let you go. The only thing I was saying, I've said it before. We can't have Timo Johnson or Brendan Werner. That's what we've got. We can't have both of them because they're both the same sort of player, in my opinion. Brendan Johnson he's going to be frustrating, but he's going to give us something.
Still
Timo
producing,
Werner,
though. He's still producing.
Yeah.
For me, this brother here, I don't know what. Because
we don't beat Brentford without him.
But the thing is,
you know what? I'm gonna butt in now. It's my time to talk now.
Go on.
I'm keeping Werner. I don't care what anyone says. I'm keeping Timo Werner. I'm getting rid of Solomon. Bye-bye. He's done nothing to impress me, in my opinion. Richarlison, hands up. He might be him. I may have a lot of egg on my face for Richarlison because that surgery, whatever that surgeon did to Richarlison, I think he put a bit of adamantium in him, put a bit of that super soldier serum in him because he's turned into an actual. He's turned into R9. He looks like R9. Let me not go too far, but no. Jokes aside, I'm keeping Timo. I'm getting rid of Solomon. I'm getting rid of Gil. I'm getting rid of not getting rid of Santiago, but he ain't getting in that first team.
Who is
Scarlett
I don't know who he is.
Iago Santiago. He's having a decent season in PL2, but again, there's Soon-Suk Bell's playing better than him. Donnelly's playing better than him. There's better players than him in that Premier League 2 team. I'm loaning both Donnelly and Scarlett. And here's my not controversial take. I think we need to go big for an heir to Sonny this season. And I've heard rumours that we are. I think it's time to start looking at...
Hold on. We bought
Bergvall, but he's more of a midfielder, I've heard.
He is, yeah. He's more of a midfielder. But there's... was there somebody? Oh, no. That fell through, didn't it?
And we've got Alfie...
The guy who was going to go to Brentford, and that whole deal fell through.
Oh, Nusa. He had a...
No,
back in... Nusa had Antonio Nusa had a few back issues and knee issues that came up in the medical. Again, I'm not bothered that Nusa didn't come. Nusa's a baller, but 18, not bothered. Bergvall, not bothered either. So, go on, Sid.
I was going to say, where's Valise on there?
That's what I'm so this wanted to say. This is players that are currently in the squad, not the loan players. So it hasn't shown it on the Premier League website. But I can obviously there's loan players if I go to the Tottenham website. But yeah,
I think you've got to be a player to get loaned to a Sevilla team that's pretty decent at the moment. All right at the moment. So I think I'm loaning Donnelly and Scarlett, and I'm bringing back Valise as a backup striker. And like I said, my controversial take is not even controversial. I don't think. I think we need to start looking at an heir to Sonny. I think we really need to start. Yeah. Sonny's 32 now. I think he's still got 3 years in him of very, 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 very good quality, but he might get injured a lot more. So for me, I'm loving the Pedro Neto links. I'm absolutely loving the Pedro Neto links. Yeah. Matoma, someone like that. You're going to have to break the bank. I don't give a fucking toss. Break that bank because I'd rather us break the bank now and ease that player in than us get to a 34, 35-year-old Sonny and we still haven't found his replacement and he's completely fallen off a cliff. So for me, we have to go big for a winger. I don't even think we need a striker like that because we've got 3 young strikers who are coming up. For me, we've got to break the bank for a winger.
Right. Before we finish, and I know you've got to finish soon, that's why I'm trying to hurry this up a little bit. I'm just going to go through these loan players. These are the loan players that we currently are on loan. Now, some of them have been, but they're not on loan, they've gone, but they are.
Perisic is gone. He's gone.
Right.
Every single one of these can go, by the way. Go on, Sid. Sorry.
I was going to say bye. And I'm going to play the NSYNC song. Bye. All of them. Apart from Valise and Phillips. Apart from Phillips.
He looks fat in his kit.
He's actually got a new kit on and he looks sad. Look at his face. He
doesn't look happy. He looks pissed.
Like, why are you putting me in a new kit? I'm never going to play in this kit. Why?
Listen,
oh my days.
Only 2 players I'm keeping there is number 35 and the one.
Okay, let's go to the top. Sorry. So go on then.
No, we don't even need to. Just keep waving. Keep waving.
Bye, or keep. See you later. Bye, or keep.
See ya.
Bye, or keep.
Bye.
Waving. I'm waving.
Bye, or keep.
Bye.
I'm waving.
Bye or bye.
I'm waving. Now we can stop waving. Keep.
Bye or keep. Bye or keep.
Bye. Okay. Listen, this thing about Valise, right? You know that Postecoglou rates Scarlett higher than Valise, right?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, because he said Valise is going to be my number one at the precise moment until Scarlett comes back, and Scarlett's going to be. I'm going to prefer Scarlett over Valise.
That don't surprise me.
I disagree. Me personally, I prefer Valise over Scarlett.
And he's got a much better. Scarlett is a built kid. He's very built for his age. He's very stocky, Scarlett. Yeah. But Valise has got the height and the size on him. But for an 18, 19-year-old, I think he just needs a bit of confidence. Just needs a bit of time to settle in. He's literally come straight from Argentina. So,
Valise, I think he got that injury
he got an injury as well.
He actually started to at least.
He had a goal. He had a goal or two, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a couple of goals in there. So yeah. So again. Bye. Yes, we'll keep. See you later. That's it.
Pretty much.
So, going back to Son, Darius, he's got one year left. 2025 his contract expires, and then he's got the option to take it for another season. He's just saying, I'm looking at end of the season, see what happens, how far I can take Spurs.
I think Son will be here till I think they'll give him a 2-year contract.
But I think. And I agree what you said. We have to throw the money and bank at Mitoma, because I think Mitoma is the ideal replacement for him.
Mitoma or Neto, one of them two. Mitoma or Neto.
Did you see
Porro?
Did you see that pass from the goalkeeper, or whoever it was?
And he took it down, and it was like glue.
Well, I'm like glue. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we need to throw the bank at him and get him, because I think he is the ideal replacement.
Unreal. But he's 26 or 27. He's not young.
Yeah, that's the only problem, isn't it? But
I don't think that's a problem. I don't think Andrew's got a problem with bringing in players of that age. I really don't. It's if they've got the quality to do. Because he was going to bring in what's his name, that Jota.
But he's quite young though. He's like 24.
Is he? Okay, I thought he was a bit older. He looks older.
I don't think he's that old.
There was a couple of players in that Celtic squad which weren't young. But
Matoma's only 26. Matoma's only 26.
Oh,
yeah. So he's young. Who told me he was 28?
I don't know who told you, but who told you took you for a ride.
Break the bank. Break the bank. What do you want, Brian?
I'm telling you now.
Honestly,
okay. Mitoma or Neto?
Neto. No, Mitoma.
All day, Mitoma.
I don't like Neto's injury record. I think Neto's a better player, but I don't like his injury record.
Exactly.
And he's a right winger.
He hasn't scored that many goals. I think Matoma's better.
Okay.
Mitoma doesn't score a lot either, but I'll be real with you. Something about Mitoma, the art of dribbling, bro, is oh my goodness.
He's lethal, man.
Yeah,
he's unreal.
Let me just address this with Jews. But Korean people don't like Japanese in general, World War II. Fair, that's historical. But Argentinians don't necessarily like Brazilians, and we've got plenty of them in our squad. They have to get on. You know what I mean? They have to sort themselves out. I don't care if you got beef with somebody because of World War II.
And do you honestly think Son's the kind of person
you weren't in the field? Son wasn't in the field back in 1939.
Exactly.
But is Son the type of person to have beef with someone? Come on.
Nah. Son's not beef.
No way.
Yo, break. You know what, Sid? It's a tough one. It is a tough one, Sam, because I love Pedro Neto so much. But that injury record, and he had a bad knee injury. Let's not forget. I think he also did his ACL. I'm not sure if it was ACL, but he had a bad knee injury. He's only 21.
If we are going to be the scouting department, and we are going to be the players or the people that do this, we have to look at contracts as well. I don't know how long Matoma's contract.
Let me have a look for you. Matoma just signed one. Matoma just signed a new deal.
Pedro
Neto, I'm not too sure. Let me have a look for you.
I don't think he has. I think he's more likely to be. Right, let's do the final. While else you're doing that, Sid, final thoughts, because I know you got to go soon.
Final thoughts. You know what? It's how can I say it? The 11 is the 11 until obviously Benton Core gets better, and then obviously next season, let's see what happens in the window. Poch is going not Poch. Postecoglou is going to be cooking. He's going to be cooking in that window. So you know what? Let's enjoy. You know, we're speculating. This is what we would prefer. At the end of the day, it's just our preference. It's the manager who's got the best choice, and he's going to be spoiled, absolutely spoiled, because when he came to this club, he probably looked at that squad and he probably thought, right, I want when I've got all of these together as one, I'm gonna have a problem to have, and it's gonna
just to interrupt. They both their contracts end 2027, so yeah, it's gonna.
I
feel like Neto's worth more because he's 5 years younger, but
Yeah, but then
same length of contract. They've got 3 years left on the deal, so they ain't going to be cheap.
That's why I would take Neto personally, because
I think you've got more chance of Neto than Mitoma.
Wolves also have FFP issues as well.
Yeah,
Wolves also have FFP issues.
Neto for me, is he 22, 23?
He's joke. I think he's like 22.
But he's proven Prem. And proven that team like Wolves.
I think United are live with him as well, aren't they now?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
He's a joke. He's an absolute joke, Neto. He could go Man City if he wanted to.
And I agree. So if we got him, I think that'd be a great
Neto, Son, and Richarlison, if he continues his form, that's cool.
And then if you throw in the midfielder with the
Kulu and Johnson to come off the bench,
you know what I mean? There's a lot in there. Anything else, Sid, on your final thoughts?
No, do you know what? That's it. We've got Postecoglou now has the team that he probably wanted from day dot when he got there to pick from. He's now got the job of picking the best team to go out and games. All I want now from now until the end of the season, and especially in that month of April, is to comfortably start winning games and put teams to bed. That's all I want.
Putting teams to bed, and quickly as well, because we were scoring early goals in the mid part of the season and the early. And then we were losing them games. You remember we were scoring first quite a lot of the time, but then we were losing games.
Yeah.
And now we're not scoring first, and we're just about getting over the line or just about drawing. And either or can't work. Either or is not going to be sustainable.
And one final thing, all I'm going to say is Postecoglou, and to the Tottenham players, if you're watching this or if you're going to get to watch this later on, where the Paxton, Tottenham. Score some fucking goals on our end, man.
Darius, final thoughts. I'll just put up the fixtures.
Final thoughts. I think we've done well in terms of results. Obviously, before that was the Brentford win, Man United draw. So I think we're doing all right. I expect to win at Wolves. That Chelsea game is going to be flipping amazing. I hope we.
That Chelsea game's been postponed. Remember?
Not
going to be
they're in the final, aren't they? They're in the final, aren't they?
So our next 3 games.
So we haven't got a game then.
No. So Wolves this Saturday, and then our next game is not until we play Crystal Palace on the 2nd of March.
Full strength.
2-week break. So we were people. Yeah, you have to go full strength against them, and you have to win this game. You have to win both.
And then that
games.
10th of March, that's a fucking huge game.
Then you go into where you think, right, okay, that's a tough game. This is a tough game as well against Fulham. You're back to back away, and you're playing in a London derby against a team that's beaten a lot of the top 6 at their place this season. So there's no mugs off Fulham. No mugs.
And then April is
April.
We know what April has in store for us, but I still feel that's a way away. A lot can happen before then.
We can't look anything past this.
Yeah,
my friend.
A lot can happen before then.
That's it. We have to win this game. Lunchtime. Okay.
But yeah,
final thoughts.
Final thoughts is really quick. I think we got to be a little bit ruthless in the summer. I definitely think we have to be a little bit ruthless. I think sentiment has to kind of go out the window for a few players. But what I will say is I think we're in a position now with our squad where, and again, some people may not like to hear this, but if we can't get all the deals done, certain players who may stay, who we might want to leave or on the fringes of leaving, you might not be too angry at those players staying. Whereas a player like a Dyer or one of those lot who were staying, or a Sanchez, we all wanted them out. At least, if Skip stays, if Højbjerg stays, you're not going to be too mad. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. So I think we've positioned our squad to the point where we can make sensible decisions on, replacing and bringing in players. And I think come the summer, we'll look a lot different. It'll be to the image that Ange Postecoglou and Johan Langer and Scott Munn and whoever else is involved in football is looking to. Because, I think the squad is, in terms of age, squad's pretty good for the age. I mean, we're only signing young players that all seem to be hitting the floor running quite well. So I think we've put ourselves in a good position. We also can't forget, though, experience is a very important thing. We can't be like Chelsea, where potentially you've got only Thiago Silva and Raheem Sterling who are providing that experience. So good spine. Let's add to it, and let's just stop the sentiment and get rid of some of that dead weight. But yeah, overall, I think we know what our strongest 11 is. And also, I have seen that rumor with Rafinha, but again,
pay 60 million for him.
I wouldn't even pay 30 million for Rafinha.
No chance.
Yeah. No chance. Just to go back to what we said, I think we are in a good position squad wise. I think we all know what our strongest 11 is, which I think is always a good thing. So it's just about fleshing out that team, making the squad better, and preparing ourselves for what I think it's not. You can't call it a guarantee just yet, but the chances of us playing twice a week are very, very high next season. So, yeah, let's mold that squad into a team that can compete on all fronts, as they say.
If you effectively look at it, we're going to be playing 3 times a week at some points. That's how they look at it now. Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So again, that makes a massive difference. 1 day difference makes a lot. My final thoughts are Spurs. If you have to make just one decision, everything else being equal, please don't pay £15 million for Timo Werner.
That's the one thing you don't want him to do?
No.
Would you rather them pay 50? Oh my God, I was just about to ask you that as well.
I'd rather them say Sessegnon because he won't play, but I'd rather them keep Sessegnon and do something with him, maybe. But Timo Werner, please don't waste that £15 million. He's not the one for us. I'm telling you that from my heart, Spurs fans. He's not the one for us. If you think he is, fair, that's opinions. I get that. But I've seen enough of this guy in a Chelsea shirt. I've seen enough of this guy in our shirt, even at this point, to know that he's not going to improve us to the point where we're going to say, yeah, that was a great sign. But I'm here to be proven wrong. I am here to be proven
I agree.
Yeah, so thank you for the viewers' comments. Leslie Crawford, Aston Villa away is a crunch fixture. The crunch fixture, Leslie, is Wolves away. Sorry, Wolves at home. When they did us in the last minute away, we have to take 3 points.
Completely forgot. Oh my days.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wolves are he's a decent team. Gary O'Neill.
They ain't in great form at the moment.
No, but Gary O'Neill's a sneaky manager.
He's a good manager.
You know what he's like?
He's a good manager.
He knows how to set his teams up, and that's why.
But they concede goals. They do concede goals, though.
So do we.
That's a good way to end. So do we.
That don't make no odds to me. We do too.
Free incoming. Free incoming.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Leslie Crawford, Jews, as always. You know what I mean? It's been a pleasure seeing you back, giving us that Paul Pablo. Yeah, that's nice of you to be in there. And then Sports, I haven't seen you for a while. The Chelsea fan who he's got a little bit of a soft spot for Spurs, and there's not many of them that do that. Yeah, Darius, thank you very much. Welcome back from your holiday.
Pleasure. Great to be back.
And yeah, I think that's about it. We've got probably the preview coming up for the Wolves game either tomorrow or Friday. Sid will be doing that. So look out for that. Make sure you share this stream along all your platforms, whether that's on X, whether that's in whatever you want to do, just share it. Make sure you do. And we'll be back at some point with the next installment. I think that's it. I, as always, doing them scrambling around looking for the outro because I like that. And I found it. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching, viewers. Come on, you Spurs. Develop